What's up guys, it's your host here, Naruto DxD, back with another Naruto slash High School DxD video, and today we have What If Naruto was in High School DxD Part 1. So the basis of the story is that Naruto is a gardener in Koe Academy, which is the high school of High School DxD, and here he watches the daily interactions between devils, angels, and fallen angels while trying his best not to get involved as he left his previous life just to escape this kind of shit, but unfortunately, fate does not let him be. So this is God Mode Naruto, and he's also overpowered in the story, so hopefully you guys do enjoy, and without further ado, let's go ahead and roll into Chapter 1. So Chapter 1. Leaves were rustling in the soundless summer evening breeze. A mop of yellow blonde hair was seen in this setting, with a pair of gardening was pruning the plants around Koe Academy with a complete dedication and sincerity. Ah, how good it feels when all those annoying brats leave for home. Seriously, can't those little shits just stay silent while they are here? Naruto was minding his own business, intending to plant life around Koe as part of his job. He had come to this world as he has left his previous one. He lived happily in a fulfilling life here. However, he knew that you have to start running like a bitch if people start to worship you as a god. Seclusion didn't help. Nope. Those bastards always tracked him after a few years of searching, therefore New World it is, he decided. Though now that I think about it, I was being stupid for not laying out the proper coordinates for a world. Well, I guess it didn't help, when I didn't even know where I was going, thought Naruto. Contemplating the past, Brat, said a voice in his mind. Well, look who finally decided to wake up. Had a good night's sleep, furball? Fuck you, you little shit. If it weren't for me, you wouldn't even be here. I had to expend nearly 99% of my chakra just so you could pass through dimensions with your full body intact, said the voice to Naruto telepathically. Yeah, he told that in a gajillion times, Kuruma. You told me that a gajillion times, Kuruma. Well, it has been a while since we came here to this world, thought Naruto. He looked at the pine tree before him and thought, now what to do with you, sonny? When Naruto came crashed into this world, he had been completely clueless to where he was as he should be. Duh. He was in the new world. However, his arrival didn't go unnoticed, as he discovered quickly as he felt someone to where he is. He quickly hid himself in a nearby forest and went into sage mode so that he could avoid detection and at the same time detect others. However, it was at this very moment that he found out that this world was about to be fucked up, as the nature was holding plenty of negative emotions. He sweated a lot when he was in sage mode, feeling nature's wrath, and started to fight for control of his mind while purifying the natural energies. When he felt his pursuers leave without finding anything, he left sage mode to find that the surroundings around him had become a little more green with life. He left for the city with the ability of shadow clones. He quickly found a library to take knowledge of this world while he was in. Luckily, the language of the people this world spoke was almost the same as his original world. This accelerated his progress, and thus he crammed his head with all the basic knowledge of this world: history, science, technology, culture, math, religion, mythology, legends, you name it. Once he had enough information about this world, he quickly forged his basic details to survive in this world with the help of some basic genjutsu he learned while he was still in his own world, or he had learned still pursuit for a shinobi to be a Kage. After identity, money became a problem, which was quickly resolved when he saw a newspaper ad that said that a school, which was named after this town called Koe Academy, was hiring some gardeners. It also stated that residential requirements for the workers will be taken care of as long as basic necessities were met. Naruto knew a good deal when he saw one. He ran like the wind towards the school after asking directions from locals. The principal he met was a weird guy, but still gave Naruto the green light and thus commenced Naruto's life as a gardener. It also helped that Naruto wasn't completely clueless idiot when it came to plants, as he was gardening was one of his hobbies aside from his training. There was some bumps here and there at the beginning, but it all came to pass. So 5 years passed, and then his 128th birthday had come to pass. He still looked like a 28-year-old. He sported a beard on his face, and his shaggy hair had been cut down to make his head look like a trimmed lawn. Naruto's looking Boruto, obviously. However, the most noticeable difference that he sported a huge belly. Naruto looked down to see his appearance inside. Well, that's what happens when you don't get a proper workout. And whose fault is that? Said Kuruma in his head. Well, I can't burn the amount of energy I required to store as you know it. If I work out seriously, then it will start looking suspicious. Besides, there is no need for me to train whined Naruto mentally, admonishing his old friend. Snorted crewman and went back to sleep. Naruto smiled at his friend and looked up at a plan before him. Now then, do this, and do that, and this, thought Naruto while doing his work when a voice interrupted his work. Good evening, said a voice, which sounded like a girl. Ah, Rias, don't interrupt me like that. I could have made a terrible mistake, said Naruto. Sorry, I just couldn't help it, said Rias while giving him a playful grammar. She was 17 years old and with unusual crimson red hair with a bombshell body. Her hair only heightened her beauty, giving her the title as one of Ko's two great onesamas. So how has your day been, dear? Asked Naruto. It is fine, but the history classes were boring as hell, said Rias with a bored look on her face. Ha, so Mr. Yamada bored you to death with his history lessons, did he? Too bad, Squirt. You go to school, you have to suffer, joked Naruto. Rias gave him a deadpan look and said, Jackass. Why, you little brat, said Naruto with a mock angry face. Anyways, I have to leave for home now. I'll speak with you tomorrow, Mr. Naruto, said Rias, hurried off. Alright then, take care, said Naruto, resumed doing his work. It has been like this for the past 5 years for Naruto. Ever since he joined Ko as the resident gardener, life has been pretty mundane, with no interesting things popping up. There has been some close calls, obviously, where he had to reveal his secrets, but luck smiled upon him and he didn't have to. He finished off his gardening work as usual in his usual spot, unknown to anyone but him. He sat down and went into sage mode and started purifying nature energy around him. It had been his daily duty for the past 5 years to do this here in whenever he could to restore the plant life and to ease the wrath of nature. When he felt that one place had become too concentrated, he quickly switched off to another one before anyone noticed. Once that was done, his duties in the school were over, thus he was left to his own devices. He strolled around the school when he came into contact with them. Oof. Of course, they are up to it again, aren't they, thought Naruto. Why is it that wherever you go, some kind of pervert always follows you into your life, said Kurama. What can I say, man? I asked this question myself every time I came to this world, thought Naruto. But still, let's play them for old time's sake. What Naruto noticed was none other than the infamous perverted trio, Ko had marked them as. So had they come into being called since came to this school the year before. The threesome were laughing purposely while spraying on the kendo club changing clothes. Naruto sneaked up on them and decided to lay a trap by their legs and shouted, Watch out, girls, peeping toms over here. Ah, what the son of a... The threesome stepped on a rope and that pulled them up and were immediately caught upside down from a tree with them of hanging from it individually. Man, what the hell, Naruto? Why'd you have to do that? Shouted Issei Hyodo. Not cool, man. Not cool, said Motohama. You are gonna get us killed, man. Let us out of here, asked Matsuda. Oh, I am sorry. How many times do I have to tell you not to spy on women in school, and especially in the bushes? You know how many times I got you in trouble just because you three decided to take advantage of me growing thick bushes, said Naruto with fury in his eyes, which made the three falter. Not this time. This time you are going to suffer. Naruto left the place while leaving a note, a Shanghai piece of cloth. The kendo girls who arrived on the scene found the boys tied upside down and find a note. Have fun, girls. This is a surprise present for me. You know what to do with the articles I left behind. The girls knew who gave them this as they figured out from his voice as he shouted, Katsune. The kendo club captain announced, Alright, girls, we'll be playing Hit the Pervs now. Anyone who can land a solid hit on 3 of them blindfolded will be the ultimate winner. Until then, nobody will unite you. Holy, shouted all 3 of them, but they couldn't complete what the sentence as the game already started. Ah, ouch, yow, not in the balls, ah, my face, ah, my testicles. You will pay for this, Naruto, shouted the 3. However, Naruto already moved on from the school to the town. He was feeling thirsty, so he decided that he would have a drink. He made a stop at an old bar. It was poorly lit with a few customers who were keeping to themselves. He went to the counter and ordered, Give me some sake, please. One for me too, said another voice. Naruto turned to seek a sleek and handsome man who looked around 30 and had an unusual brown hair which ended with blonde bangs. Coming right up, said the bartender before he went back to get some sake. The 2 men didn't talk and waited for their drinks. Once the bartender arrived with their drinks, they started drinking and quickly finished it off. Ah, nothing beats a warm sake, said the man. A hard day's work? Personally, I would have it in a warm bath to the boot, said Naruto while grinning at the man. The man looked at Naruto with a raised eyebrow and grinned. Well, it seems, my friend, that you and I have very similar tastes. The name's Azazel, said, now that identified Azazel, who gestured his hand forward for a handshake. Naruto Uzumaki at your service, said Naruto before reciprocating his hand in return. Fish cake? Your parents must have had a real good liking of ramen, said Azazel, while joking about Naruto's name. It's supposed to mean mushroom, but being named after ramen topping isn't all that bad either. It's food of the gods, I tell you, said Naruto before he realized Azazel's glass with another round of sake. Azazel did the same for Naruto and said, well, here's one hoping for a good life. Can both of them downed their drinks for some time and talked for a while. They talked more like jabbered while drunk, each telling their woes of working to death. Well, it's been a wonderful time, Naruto, said drunk Azazel, whose words were slurred due to the alcohol affecting his head. It has, said Naruto, while wondering why Kuruma still hadn't detoxified his system of alcohol downing effects on his brain. However, he didn't complain, as he did have a good time with his new pal. Hick, so as long, hick, I gotta go now. We'll see each other tomorrow, hick, said Azazel, who walked in the opposite direction and called up somebody as far as Naruto could tell. So long, shouted a drunk Naruto, who took his own time walking around the block before he went back to his quarters on his own by a miracle. He slept like a drunk would and woke up the next morning with a hangover. However, he couldn't help but grin about the evening's passings as he finally found someone who could be a good drinking buddy. However, that baffled him when Kuruma, who had stayed silent the entire evening, finally spoke. You should be wary of him, Naruto. This man was hiding something. What do you mean, Kurama? Asked Naruto with a serious look, as Kurama never lied to him and he always trusted the fox. I don't know what I felt, but whoever he was powerful and at the same time had some mixture of light and dark energy in him. That's why I couldn't detoxify you yesterday, said Kurama. So, you were afraid that he would detect you, huh? Asked Naruto while understanding why his friend didn't help him last night. Kurama nodded his head and further added, though he didn't have any ill intentions when he was speaking to you, I would advise caution in the future. Agreed, said Naruto, as he was no longer that immature brat he once was. Time and circumstances had matured the blonde. Well, it should have, considering he was well over 100 years old. Well, I'll keep that in mind while meeting him later tonight, said Naruto. On a side note, why didn't you do it later after I left? Asked Naruto. Just too lazy to do it. Besides, I wanted to see you experience a little pain, said Kurama. Asshole, said Naruto, cutting the link. Naruto once again proceeded with his daily rituals from morning till evening. But the most unusual thing that happened during the past few days was one of the perverts. Issei had come in hand with a girl who had proclaimed his girlfriend. Naruto only looked stumped how Issei could score such a chick in the first place. However, Naruto did notice that the girl in question had ulterior motives by the look in her eyes that gave off all kinds of alarms. He warned a baffled Issei to be careful on what his jolly way. Once again, Naruto met up with Azazel, who invited his new friend / conversation partner / drinking buddy to a table, and once again they drank till late in the night before they had the same type of conversation. Hick, so long, Fred. Hick, said Azazel while trying to control himself. So long, pal, said Naruto while the words were slurred. He started moving towards Ko while swaying around. The population he met with on the way cursed at him. Drunken fool! Should put his ass in jail for public nuisance. What a waste. Naruto paid no heed to the populace, but made his way to the park near the school. He walked towards one of the benches and began resting on it, assuming that the police should have already patrolled this area. He rested his head on the benches and began to lay down, looking drowsy. However, a noise disturbed his sleep. He woke up from the sound and looked to see who it was. What the hell was that? Thought Naruto while still maintaining his drunk subpar. He saw Issei on the floor, was bleeding through his chest, which had a huge hole in it. Immediately, Naruto cited the loss of life. He saw the condition Issei was in and knew that he couldn't do anything to help the poor kid. He looked at the person who killed him and immediately recognized to be the girl Issei introduced as his girlfriend this morning. He looked at her and asked, "Hey, why did you kill the poor kid?" asked Naruto with anger evident on his face, but turned out to be a comical as his face showed he was drunk. Oh, a mortal was hiding, huh? A drunk fool, no less. You are a gardener in this boy's high school, aren't you? You should have slept, fool. Nevertheless, you witnessed something you shouldn't have. Collateral damage, I suppose, said Reiner, who summoned a light spear and threw it at Naruto. Naruto dodged at the incoming light spear with a wavy sidestep. Reiner, surprised that it has formed more light spears and decided to throw them at Naruto, who dodged them all very professionally in a drunk manner that resembled that like a drunken martial art of Rock Lee. He went forward and gave Reiner a punch to the gut. He said, "Now, you better get out of my sight," said Naruto. "You drunk ape, I'm going to kill you where you stand," said Reiner while moving forward with a summoned light spear. You leave me no choice," said Naruto, slurred Naruto. He gave a sharp knife hand to her heart, effectively killing her. "There goes another one," said Naruto. He then looked back to see Issei, who was missing. He sharpened his eyes and senses to look for the boy so that he could bury his body and pay his respects. However, he picked Issei's life signature up at a distance, which he assumed to be his house. However, it was slightly different to what it was before. Well, all that matters is that the kid's alive, thought Naruto when he moved onward to his Jonaika. "You always get involved in some deep shit, you know," said Kurama. "Kurama, my friend, here, come give me a hug, you know," said Naruto, moving into his hug for his friend in his mindscape. "Get off me, you drunk ape. Hold still while I take this alcohol out of your system." "Thanks," said Naruto, and started to move much better and was able to form coherent thoughts much more easily than before. Still, it has been a rough night. Wonder what's in store for tomorrow, he thought. Better have some of that Ichiraku's I sealed off, thought Naruto while moving away from the apparent murder spot, but noticing a string of her hair that caught in his shoes. That's the end of chapter 1, or part 1. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a comment, like, and subscribe for more. Hopefully this hits over 100 likes, and I'll continue it. So without further ado, again, please subscribe. This takes forever to do. And again, without further ado, peace.